Okay, now today we'll discuss the fifth theorem of the real number chapter. So what is the theorem? The theorem states in this way: if x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates, then the number can be expressed in the form p by q, where p, q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, where n and m are non-negative integer. This is a definition. So that means, for example, you see I have taken three rational numbers: 3 by 2, 3 by 25, 7 by 20. So these are rational numbers, as you know. As let me first take this one: x is equal to 3 by 2. So is in the form p by q, and also you see they are in the lowest term, as you see p and q are co-prime. So these 3 and 2, they are co-prime. So it is in the lowest form. So if this rational number have terminates, decimal expansion of the number terminates, then q can be expressed in the form this. You see how it is possible. So here what is q? This is in the form p by q, is not it? So what is q? Our q is equal to 2. So now these 2 can be written in this way: 2 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 0. As you know, anything to the power 0 is 1. So you see, what is your n? N is power of 2. So your n is equal to 1. And what is m? M is power of 5. That is n, m is 0. So that's why q of this rational number, that is 2, can be expressed in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m. So, and you see m and n, they have to be non-negative integers. So non-negative means it can be 0, but it cannot be negative. That is the meaning of non-negative integers. Similarly, if I take x to be 3 by 25, then what is q? Q is equal to 5 square. 25 is 5 square. It can be written as 2 to the power 0 into 5 to the power 2. So in this case, n is equal to 0 and m is equal to 2. Then when x is equal to 7 upon 20, when x is equal to 7 upon 20, then what is q? Q is denominator 20. 4 5 are 20, so 2 square into 5. So here your n is equal to 2 and m is equal to 1. Power is 1. So this is about the definition of this theorem. That is, if x is a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. So these, as you see, okay. So this is about the theorem. Now I'll show you why this, as you know. Because for a decimal expansion to terminate, the denominator, that is the denominator, always will have to be a multiple of 10. Then only it will have terminating decimal. So that's why you see the q has to be in this form: 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m. Okay. So now converse of this theorem is the next theorem. Theorem 6 is converse. That means here I have told you that the rational number have terminating decimal, then q can be expressed in this form. That means, okay. So this theorem states that if x is equal to p by q, have terminating decimal, if expansion, then q can be written in this form into 5 to the power m. This is the, in short, this is the theorem. Any rational number having, this is your m. So it's converse. What will be the converse? Converse of theorem 5 is your theorem 6. So what will be the converse? Converse will be if Q is of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, then x, which is equal to P upon Q, will have terminating decimal. Terminating decimal expansion. So it is the opposite of this theorem. And the this is theorem 6, the converse of theorem 5, and the last theorem of the chapter, the 7th theorem, is if Q is not of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, then x p by q will have non-terminating but repeating decimal expansion. Non-terminating and repeating decimal expansion. So basically, if I remember this theorem, from this theorem I can define the other theorems. The main thing is that if any decimal rational number have its denominator have this kind of prime factorization, it will have this kind of prime factorization. And the converse of this is the other theorem, and the last theorem is that if denominator is not of this form, then it will have non-terminating but repeating decimal expansion. So this theorem states about the nature of decimal expansion of a rational number. So without actually dividing a rational or dividing, we can tell about the nature of decimal expansion of a rational number. So I'll explain this by some example. So here are some applications of the theorems. Now I have taken some rational numbers. So here I have to check whether their decimal expansion is terminating or non-terminating but repeating. And if repeating, we have to find their decimal. If terminating, then you have to find their decimal expansion. And all this you have to do without doing the long division. So let us try the first one. The first part, the rational number is 13 by 3125. Now first of all, you have to check whether it is in the lowest form. If it is in the lowest form, then only I can take them as p by q. And then I have to look for the prime factorization of q. So obviously, I think it is, they are co-prime. So it is in the form p by q. So therefore, what is q? Q is 3125. So now I have to find their prime factorization. So the prime factorization will be, if you do the factorization, it will come like this: 5 to the power 5. In this way you do it, 3125. It goes by 5, 625. Then you know 625 is your 25 square. So I can write 5 into 25 square, that is 5 into 25 is 5 square whole square. So 5 into 5 to the power 4, so it is 5 to the power 5. In this way we can find out the prime factorization in rough. So this q, that is the prime factorization of q, is 5 to the power 5. So now I have to, what is the theorem? I have to check whether, we have to check now, check whether q is of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m. That I have to check. If it is of the form this, then I can say yes, it has terminating decimal. Otherwise we say it doesn't have terminating, but it is non-terminating but repeating. So you see here I can write this one as you 5 to the power 5 can be written 2 to the power 0 is 1 into 5 to the power 5. So obviously this is of this form where your n is equal to 0 and m is equal to 5. So 0 and 5 both are non-negative integers. So by the theorem we can say, since the prime factorization of q is of this form, we write in this way, since prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, where n, m are non-negative integers. Therefore, the given number, the given rational number has terminating decimal expansion. So without dividing 13 by 3125, which is a very difficult division, we can say about its nature of the decimal expansion by checking this. So it is terminating decimal expansion. Now next step, if it has terminating decimal expansion, then you have to find the value, find out the decimal expansion. Without division we can do. How you see? So this q is this. So I can write x in this way. 13 into the prime factorization is 2 to the power 0 into 5 to the power 5. So next step what we do? We make the power of both 2 and 5 same, equal. Why you do that? Because I want to have factors of 10 in the denominator. And for that 2 into 5 to the power x, that should be there in the denominator. So the power has to be same, because you know a to the power m into b to the power m is equal to a into b whole to the power m. Because of this I have to, these laws of indices, you know, so because of this I make the power same. So I have to make the power of 2 5. So what I can do, I multiply 2 to the power denominator and numerator both by the factor 2 to the power 5. It is 13. So this we have done. 2 to the power 0 is your 1. So 1 plus 5 plus 0 is 5. So this we have done. 13 by 5 to the power 5. We have multiplied both numerator and denominator by 2 to the power 5, so that the power of 2 and 5 in the denominator becomes equal, same. This we have to do. The next step, what will you do? You see, 2 to the power 5, you know, it is 32 into 13. And now using this, I can write 2 into 5 whole to the power 5. 32 into 13, you can do the multiplication, I think it is 416, I think, yes, 416. So 32 into 13 is 416. This multiplication you have to do, as you know, 2 into 5, 10, 10 to the power 5. As you know, multiplication is easier than division, so you can do the multiplication. And if you, I told you to remember all the tables up to 19, so 13 into 32, very easily you can do. 13 into the 26, 2 is left, and 13 is the 39, 13 is 41. So very easily we can do the multiplication. So next step is very easy. 5, their power is 5, so after the decimal point there will be 5 places should be there. There are 3, so 2 more zeros will include 4, 1, 6. So that is the terminating decimal expansion of this rational number. So we can find it out very easily without doing division. We can find out the decimal expansion, terminating decimal expansion. So Next, this one, 17 by 8. Let's take this one. Next one, I take this rational number, 17 upon 8. Again, you see, they are co-prime. So, the denominator can be taken as q, can be taken as 8. And prime factorization is 2 cube. So, I can include 5 factor with power 0 because factor to 0 is 1. So, you see the prime factorization of q is of this form, 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, where n, m are non-negative integers. Yes, your n is 3 and m is 0. So, n and 3 is 0 non-negative integers. So, by the theorem, I can say that since prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m, this rational number will have terminating decimal expansion. So now we have to find the value of that decimal expansion without doing the division. So the same method now we write after I have checked. So q is of this form, therefore we say terminating decimal. Okay, that we have checked. Now to find the value of the decimal number. So 17 by 2q. What to do? I have to divide and multiply. I have to multiply both numerator and denominator by the same power of 5. 5 cube into 5 cube. So that the powers of both 2 and 5 now same. Since I have divided and I multiplied, so it remains unchanged. So 17 into 125 divided by 2 into 5 whole cube. Again, if you know the table of 17, you can find the value. 17 into 125 is your 2125. So it is 2125 and 10 cube. So 3 power is 3. So the decimal there will be 3 digits after decimal point. So it will be here. So 2.125. So that is the terminating decimal expansion of the rational number. This which you found without doing division. So first you have checked the prime factorization of the q, that is the denominator. If it is of this form, we say yes, it will have terminating decimal, and if it is not of this form, then we say no, it will not be terminating, it will be non-terminating but repeating, and in that case we no need of finding the decimal expansion. So next, this question, third part. Next, 64 by 455. Are they co-prime? Do have they any common factor? No, they don't have. So it is in the form p by q. So to find the prime factorization of q, 455, it will go by 5 into 7 into 13, I think. If you do this, you can do yourself and you check. Yes, it is 5 into 7 into 13, prime factorization. So obviously, it is not of the form, is not of the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m. 5 is there, but there is no 2, and the 7 and 13 are not desired. So this is not of the form. So by the last theorem, that is the 7th theorem, we say, therefore you will be writing the theorem by 7th theorem by theorem 7. Therefore by theorem 7 we say x has non-terminating and recurring means repeating, non-terminating recurring decimal expansion. So you have checked. Next, 6 to the power 15. Next question, you see. Six by 15. Now here also, first you check whether they are co-prime. 6 and 15, they are not co-prime because they will go by 3. 3 to the 6, 3 5 the 15, 2 by 5. So you see, Q is not equal to 15. Remember, always you have to check whether they are co-prime or not. When they are co-prime, then only I write Q, the value of Q. But Q is equal to 5, because after bringing it in the lowest form, we can write the value of Q. So this is of the form 2 to the power 0 into 5 to the power 1. So by this theorem, fifth theorem, we can say, so by sixth theorem, we can say that since Q is of the form this, it will have terminating decimal, and it is very easy one, and no need, because 5 into 2 and 2 into 2, 4 by 10, so it is 0.4. It was easy. Similarly, this one also, fifth one, x is equal to 35 by 50. Here also Q is not equal to 50, as 35 and 50 are not co-prime. So we bring into the lowest form, 5 7 is 35 and 5 10 is 50. So your Q is equal to 10, and so it is of the form 2 into 5, 2 to the, okay, and so it will have terminating decimal, and it is 0.7. So these are the applications of the theorems where we can tell about the nature of decimal expansion of a rational number, whether it is terminating or non-terminating repeating. And also we can find out the terminating decimal by the method I have shown you, by equating the powers of 2 and 5 in the denominator, and accordingly we do this. Okay.